The blue glow of my computer screen cast shadows across the empty office at 1:47 a.m. I stared at my phone, watching Monica's contact photo smile back at me with that practiced corporate recruiter expression she'd perfected over the years. 6 calls, 6 goddamn calls, and my wife couldn't be bothered to pick up. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible Reddit stories. My name is Julian Vane, and I'm a cybersecurity analyst for a mid-sized tech firm in Portland, Maine. 32 years old, decent looking in that forgettable way that makes people underestimate you, and apparently stupid enough to believe my wife when she said she was working late. Again, the myth of the loyal spouse in the age of passcodes and encrypted chats. I thought bitterly. What a joke. I hit call for the 7th time, drumming my fingers against my desk as the phone rang. Once, twice, 3 times. Just when I expected voicemail, she picked up. Julian? Monica's voice was breathless, strained. I'm really busy, lots of work. Can this wait until… A man's laughter echoed in the background, deep, familiar, and definitely not coming from any late-night office meeting I'd ever attended. My fingers stopped drumming. The sarcastic inner voice that usually kept me company went silent. Your family already knows about your work, I said, my voice calm as a frozen lake. The hidden camera footage is in the chat. The silence that followed was deafening. I could practically hear her heart stop beating through the phone. Julian, what are you… Her voice cracked. Pure panic. What footage? What chat? I hung up and leaned back in my chair, staring at the smart home security app on my computer screen, the app I'd installed 6 months ago when we moved into our new house, the app that had just shattered my marriage and was about to destroy hers. But let me back up. Let me tell you how I discovered that my wife, Monica Thorne, was a lying, cheating piece of work who thought I was too stupid to figure it out. It started 3 weeks ago with the little things. Monica, who used to text me constantly throughout the day, suddenly became a ghost. Her usual, "How's your day, babe?" messages disappeared. When I'd send her funny memes or ask about dinner plans, I'd get back terse responses hours later. Swamped at work. New client demands. Can't talk, in meetings. Monica worked as a corporate recruiter for a consulting firm downtown. Good job, decent money, but nothing that required the kind of hours she was suddenly claiming. Midnight finishes became routine. Weekend emergency calls multiplied. She'd leave the house at 7 a.m. and roll back in after I was asleep. The first red flag was her phone. Monica used to leave it lying around everywhere: kitchen counter, coffee table, bathroom sink. Suddenly it was glued to her hand, always face down, always on silent. When it buzzed during dinner, she'd grab it like her life depended on it. Work stuff, she'd mutter, typing furiously. The second red flag was the rejection. I'd offer to pick her up from these late-night sessions. I can grab takeout and swing by your office, I'd suggest. We could eat together. No! The sharpness in her voice surprised us both. I mean, no thanks. I'll probably be here really late. Don't wait up. The third red flag was the new perfume. Monica had worn the same vanilla body spray for 3 years. Suddenly she smelled like expensive French perfume. When I complimented it, she claimed her sister had given it to her. Her sister lived in California. They hadn't spoken in 6 months. But the final red flag, the one that sent me digging into our smart home security system, was the FaceTime rejection. Monica loved video calls. She'd FaceTime me from grocery stores to ask which pasta sauce I wanted. But now, every call went straight to voicemail or got declined with a quick text. Can't video chat right now, in open office. Camera's broken on my phone. Too tired, just want to focus. Lies, all lies. And I was about to prove it. Our house came equipped with a basic security system, but I'd upgraded it significantly. Motion sensors, door cameras, and a discrete camera in the home office where Monica claimed to do her overflow work on weekends. The system was connected to my phone and laptop, giving me remote access to check on things while traveling for work. I'd never used it to spy on Monica until 3 nights ago. She'd texted me at 9 p.m. "Working late again, probably won't be home until midnight. Don't wait up, babe." Something in my gut twisted. I opened the security app on my laptop and checked the home office camera. Empty. The motion sensor showed no activity since I'd left that morning. Curious, I checked the front door camera. Monica's car wasn't in the driveway. My hands shook as I scrolled through the day's footage. Monica had left the house at 7:15 a.m., just like she said. But according to the cameras, she'd returned at 2:30 p.m. and left again at 3:45 p.m. with a small overnight bag. Where the hell was my wife? I called her office's main number. The automated system told me their hours were 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. It was 9:30 p.m. on a Thursday. The building was closed. That night, I sat in my car outside her office building until 2 a.m. The parking lot was empty. Monica's car was nowhere to be seen. She came home at 12:47 a.m., exactly when she'd promised. I pretended to be asleep as she slipped into bed, smelling like that expensive perfume and someone else's soap. "How was work?" I mumbled, feigning drowsiness. "Exhausting," she whispered back. "But we got the Johnson account sorted out." More lies. The next day, I did something I never thought I'd do. I tracked her phone. We'd set up location sharing years ago for practical reasons, finding each other in crowded places, knowing when the other was running late. Monica had forgotten about it, but I hadn't. At 2:47 p.m. on Friday, while she was supposedly in back-to-back client meetings, her phone was located at the Marriott downtown. It stayed there for 3 hours. My marriage was over. I knew it with the cold certainty of a system administrator discovering a security breach. But knowing and proving are different things. I needed evidence. I needed to catch them in the act. I needed to make this hurt. Saturday morning, Monica announced she'd be spending the day at the office, catching up on paperwork and preparing for Monday's presentations. She kissed my cheek with those lying lips and promised to be home by dinner. "I might do some work from the home office later," she added casually. "The big monitor helps with spreadsheets." Perfect. I waited until her car disappeared around the corner, then grabbed my laptop and headed to my favorite coffee shop downtown, the one with excellent Wi-Fi and a clear view of the Marriott's parking garage. At 11:23 a.m., I spotted Monica's silver Honda pulling into the garage. My chest tightened, but I forced myself to stay calm. This was just confirmation of what I already knew. At 11:47 a.m., I opened the home security app and nearly dropped my laptop. The motion sensor in the home office had activated. Someone was in my house. My hands trembling with rage, I accessed the camera feed. The image that filled my screen burned itself into my memory forever. Monica and a man I recognized as Silas Reeve, one of her colleagues, were in my home office. They weren't working on spreadsheets. They were making out against my desk, knocking over my coffee mug and scattering my business papers. But it got worse. As I watched in horrified fascination, they broke apart and started talking. I couldn't hear the audio through the coffee shop's noise, but I could read lips well enough to catch the gist. Silas was laughing about something. Monica was nodding, gesturing around the room. Then she pointed directly at the camera and said something that made them both crack up. They knew about the camera. They were performing for it. My wife was mocking me in my own home with her lover on my own security system. The rage that filled me was unlike anything I'd ever experienced. It wasn't hot and explosive. It was cold, calculating, and absolutely merciless. I started recording. For the next 47 minutes, I documented everything. Their casual intimacy in my space, the way Monica lounged in my chair while Silas stood behind her, hands on her shoulders, the way they went through my desk drawers, laughing at my business cards and family photos. At one point, Monica picked up our wedding photo and showed it to Silas. They both burst into laughter. That's when I knew exactly how this was going to end. I spent the rest of Saturday planning, not just the confrontation, the complete systematic destruction of Monica's carefully constructed lies. First, I clipped the most damning 60 seconds of footage. Monica and Silas kissing in my office, followed by them laughing at our wedding photo. I saved it in multiple formats and uploaded copies to 3 different cloud storage accounts. Second, I researched Silas Reeve. 31 years old, senior account manager at Monica's firm, recently divorced, drove a leased BMW that he probably couldn't afford. His social media was public, full of gym selfies and motivational quotes about winning and taking what you want. What an absolute tool. Third, I prepared my audience. Monica came from a conservative Catholic family in New Hampshire. Her parents, Robert and Patricia Thorne, were old-school traditional values people who attended church every Sunday and still believed marriage was sacred. They'd welcomed me into the family with genuine warmth, and I'd grown close to them over the past 5 years. The family had a group chat called Thorne Family Sunday Dinners that included Monica's parents, her 2 siblings, and their spouses. Monica was the golden child, the successful career woman who'd married a nice tech guy and was supposedly living the American dream. They were about to learn the truth about their perfect daughter. Fourth, I contacted Monica's HR department anonymously, using a burner email account I'd created. I didn't send the footage yet. That would come later. Instead, I reported a potential workplace conduct violation involving Monica and Silas, claiming to be a concerned colleague who'd witnessed inappropriate behavior. The email would create a paper trail. When the footage surfaced later, HR would already be primed to take action. Finally, I prepared my exit strategy. I changed all the passwords on our shared accounts: Netflix, Amazon, the security system, even our joint savings account. I packed Monica's clothes and personal items into suitcases and left them in the garage. By Sunday evening, I was ready for war. Monica came home Sunday night at 11:30 p.m., claiming she'd been at her friend Taylor's house watching movies. I was waiting in the living room, laptop open, nursing a beer, and wearing my best poker face. "Hey, babe," she said, dropping her purse and kicking off her heels. "Sorry I'm so late. Taylor was having relationship drama, and you know how she gets." "How's work been lately?" I asked casually. "Crazy busy. This new client is demanding round-the-clock attention. I might have to work late again tomorrow." "Which client?" A brief hesitation. "The Morrison Group. They're expanding into the Northeast and need specialized recruitment services." I nodded thoughtfully. "That's funny. I called your office yesterday to see if you wanted lunch. The receptionist said the Morrison Group contract was canceled last month." Monica's face went pale, but she recovered quickly. "You must have misunderstood. Maybe she meant a different Morrison Group." "Maybe." I took a long sip of beer. "Hey, want to see something interesting? I was reviewing our home security footage and found some unusual activity." I turned the laptop screen toward her. The video was already queued up. Monica and Silas in our home office, laughing at our wedding photo. The color drained completely from Monica's face. She opened her mouth, closed it, then opened it again, like a fish gasping for air. "Julian, I can explain." "Can you?" I paused the video on a frame of her kissing Silas against my desk. "Because this looks pretty self-explanatory to me." "It's not what it looks like." "Really?" "Because it looks like my wife is screwing her colleague in our home office while lying to me about working late." Monica's shock was transforming into anger. "You were spying on me? That's a violation of my privacy." I laughed, actually laughed. "Your privacy? In our house? Using the security system I installed and pay for? You had no right." "I had every right. This is my home too. Or did you forget that while you were using my desk as your personal love nest?" She tried a different approach, switching to tears. "Julian, please. It was a mistake. It didn't mean anything." "A mistake that's been going on for weeks? A mistake that involves elaborate lies about work schedules and canceled contracts? The tears dried up instantly. Monica's true nature was emerging, cold, calculating, and vicious when cornered. "So what now?" she snapped. "You're going to divorce me? Take half of everything I've worked for?" "Actually, I've got something better planned." I picked up my phone and showed her the screen. The Thorne family Sunday dinners group chat was open, with 47 unread messages. "What did you do?" she whispered. "I shared your work with the people who matter most to you." Monica lunged for my phone, but I pulled it away. She was screaming now, a high-pitched sound of pure panic. "You bastard! You can't do this to me! My family! Your family deserves to know who you really are." She was crying again, but these were different tears. These were the tears of someone whose carefully constructed world was collapsing. "Please, Julian. I'll do anything. I'll quit my job. We'll move away. I'll never see Silas again." Too late for that. My phone buzzed with an incoming call. Monica's father. "Aren't you going to answer that?" I asked. I answered Robert Thorne's call on speakerphone. "Julian?" His voice was tight with controlled fury. "We need to talk." "Hello, Robert. I figured you might be calling. Is Patricia and I are sitting here looking at this video. Please tell me this is some kind of sick joke." Monica was shaking her head frantically, mouthing, hang up," while tears streamed down her face. "I'm afraid it's not a joke, Robert. I discovered the affair yesterday and thought you should know." Put Monica on the phone. "Right now?" I held out the phone to Monica. She shook her head violently. "She doesn't want to talk right now," I said. "Monica!" Robert's voice boomed through the speaker. "Get on this phone right now!" Monica reluctantly took the phone, her hands shaking so badly she nearly dropped it. "Daddy?" she whispered. "Don't you daddy me, young lady. What the hell is wrong with you? How could you do this to Julian? How could you do this to our family?" "It's not... I didn't mean..." "You didn't mean to cheat on your husband? You didn't mean to mock your marriage vows? You didn't mean to humiliate yourself and everyone who loves you?" I'd never heard Robert Thorne raise his voice before. He was a quiet, dignified man who solved problems through discussion and prayer. Monica had pushed him past his breaking point. "We raised you better than this," he continued. "Your mother is upstairs crying her eyes out. Your sister called asking if this is really you in the video. Your brother wants to drive down here and knock some sense into you. Daddy, please." "Don't. Just don't. You've broken your mother's heart. You've embarrassed our entire family. And for what? Some pretty boy who probably doesn't give a damn about you?" Monica was sobbing now, ugly crying that made her makeup run in black streaks down her cheeks. "I want you to know," Robert continued, "that Julian is still welcome at Sunday dinners. He's still part of this family. But you need to figure out who you are and what you want out of life. Because the daughter I raised wouldn't have done this." He hung up. Monica collapsed onto the couch, her phone clattering to the floor. She was hyperventilating, making small, choking sounds between sobs. "You've destroyed everything," she gasped. "My family will never forgive me." "You destroyed it the moment you brought Silas into our home." My phone buzzed with a text from Monica's sister, Sarah. "I'm so sorry, Julian. We had no idea. Mom and Dad are devastated." Another text from her brother, Mike. "If you need anything, call me. Monica made her choice." Monica saw the messages and let out a wail of despair. "They hate me. My own family hates me." "They don't hate you. They're disappointed. There's a difference." "Is there?" She looked up at me with red, swollen eyes. "What happens now?" "Now you pack whatever I didn't already pack for you, and you leave." "This is my house, too." "Actually, it's not. Check the deed. I bought this place with my inheritance money before we got married. You're not on the mortgage or the title." The look of shock on her face was almost comical. Monica had always assumed she was entitled to half of everything, but she'd never bothered to read the legal documents. "You can't just kick me out." "I can and I am. Your bags are in the garage. I've changed all the passwords and security codes. You have 1 hour to collect anything I missed." She stared at me like she was seeing me for the first time. The mild-mannered tech guy she'd married was gone, replaced by someone cold and calculating. "Who are you?" she whispered. "I'm the husband you underestimated." Monday morning brought fresh chaos. I was at my office by 7 a.m., partly to maintain my normal routine, and partly because I wanted to be somewhere public when the next phase of Monica's destruction began. At 9:15 a.m., my phone rang. Unknown number. "Julian Vane?" "Speaking." "This is Jennifer Walsh from HR at Hartwell Consulting. I believe your wife Monica works here?" "She does. We received some disturbing information over the weekend regarding Monica and one of her colleagues. Would you be available to discuss this matter?" "I'd be happy to help." Jennifer Walsh turned out to be a no-nonsense woman in her 50s who took workplace conduct violations very seriously. We met at a coffee shop near her office, and I provided her with a copy of the security footage, along with a detailed timeline of Monica's lies about working late. "This is quite damning," she said, reviewing the video on her tablet. "Using company time and resources for personal relationships is grounds for immediate termination. The fact that they're both married makes it even worse." "Silas is married?" "Separated, but yes. His wife filed for divorce last month, citing adultery. Apparently, this isn't his first workplace affair." I felt a perverse satisfaction knowing that Monica had picked such a winner. "What happens now?" I asked. "We'll be conducting formal interviews with both employees today. Given the evidence you've provided, I expect we'll be terminating both of them by end of business." "Both of them?" Monica lied on her timesheet, claiming overtime hours she wasn't actually working. That's wage theft. Silas used his company credit card to pay for hotel rooms during work hours. That's embezzlement. Neither of them will be working here much longer. I thanked Jennifer and headed back to my office, feeling lighter than I had in weeks. Monica's professional reputation was about to join her family relationships in the dumpster. At 2:30 p.m., my phone exploded with calls and texts from Monica. I ignored them all, but I did check the voicemails later. "Julian, please call me back. Something terrible has happened at work. They fired me. They actually fired me. This is all your fault. I can't believe you did this to me. I trusted you. Silas got fired too. He says it's my fault for not being more careful. He won't even talk to me now." That last message made me smile. Monica had lost her job, her family, and her boyfriend all in the same day. But I wasn't done yet. Monica had always been obsessed with her image. She maintained carefully curated social media profiles, attended networking events religiously, and cultivated friendships with influential people in her industry. Her reputation was everything to her. So naturally, that's what I targeted next. I started with her best friend, Taylor, a social climbing real estate agent who thrived on gossip and drama. Taylor and Monica had been friends since college, bonding over their shared ambition and love of expensive things. I called Taylor Tuesday evening, putting on my best concerned husband voice. "Taylor, it's Julian. I'm sorry to bother you, but I'm worried about Monica." "Oh my God, Julian, I heard about the divorce. I'm so sorry. Monica told me you guys were having problems, but I had no idea it was this serious." Interesting. Monica had been setting up her narrative, probably planning to paint me as the bad guy. What exactly did she tell you? Just that you'd been growing apart, that you were suspicious and controlling. She said you'd been checking up on her, not trusting her to work late. Did she mention why I might not trust her? A pause. What do you mean? Taylor, I'm going to send you something. I want you to watch it, and then tell me if you think I was being unreasonable. I sent her the security footage. Taylor called back 20 minutes later, her voice shaky. Julian, I had no idea. She told me she was working late. Just like she told you. I never imagined. How long have you known about Silas? Another pause. Longer this time. Taylor? I suspected something might be going on. She mentioned him a lot, always talking about how smart and ambitious he was, and she started dressing differently, buying expensive clothes and perfume, but I never thought she'd actually cheat. But you didn't say anything to me. It wasn't my place. She's my friend. Was. She was your friend. Past tense. What do you mean? I mean, Monica is about to become a social pariah, and you need to decide which side of this you want to be on. The side that supports cheating wives, or the side that has some moral standards. Taylor was quiet for a long moment. She really hurt you, didn't she? She destroyed our marriage and humiliated me in my own home. So yes, she hurt me. What are you going to do? I'm going to make sure everyone knows exactly who Monica Thorne really is. By Wednesday, the story was spreading through Monica's social circle like wildfire. Taylor, sensing which way the wind was blowing, had shared the video with several mutual friends, in confidence. Each of them shared it with their own trusted confidants, also in confidence. By Friday, Monica's professional and social networks were buzzing with rumors about her affair, her firing, and her family's rejection. Her carefully cultivated image was in ruins. She tried calling me repeatedly, leaving increasingly desperate voicemails. Julian, people are staring at me everywhere I go. Someone sent the video to my yoga instructor. My hairdresser asked me if I was the cheating wife from the internet. You have to make this stop. Please, I'm begging you. I'll sign whatever divorce papers you want. I'll give up any claim to the house or your retirement accounts. Just please make this stop. I can't even go to Starbucks without people whispering about me. Is this what you wanted? To destroy my entire life? Yes, actually. That was exactly what I wanted. 2 weeks after the initial confrontation, Monica made one last desperate play. She showed up at my office on a Thursday afternoon, looking haggard and desperate. She'd lost weight, her expensive clothes were wrinkled, and her usually perfect hair was pulled back in a messy ponytail. Julian, please, we need to talk. My colleagues were staring. Monica's meltdown had become office gossip even at my company, thanks to mutual connections in Portland's tech scene. We have nothing to talk about, I said calmly. 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking. Against my better judgment, I agreed to meet her in the parking garage. Privacy, for what I suspected, would be her final humiliation. I know you hate me, she began, but I need you to know that I never meant for this to happen. You never meant to get caught. No, I never meant to hurt you. The thing with Silas, it just happened. We were working late one night and he was going through a divorce and I was feeling neglected. Neglected? I called you 6 times the night I caught you. How is that neglecting you? You were always working, always focused on your computers and security systems. When was the last time we went on a real date? When was the last time you planned a romantic evening? I stared at her in amazement. Are you seriously trying to blame me for your affair? I'm trying to explain. You're trying to justify the unjustifiable. You made a choice, Monica. You chose to lie to me for weeks. You chose to bring another man into our home. You chose to mock our marriage. Those were your decisions. She started crying again, but I felt nothing. No sympathy, no regret, no desire to comfort her. What do you want from me? I asked. I want my life back. I want my family to forgive me. I want to be able to go to the grocery store without people staring at me. That's not up to me anymore. Isn't it? You started this. You sent that video to my family. You got me fired. You turned all my friends against me. I exposed the truth. Everything that happened after that was a consequence of your actions, not mine. So that's it? You're just going to let me suffer forever? I'm not letting you do anything. I'm not involved in your life anymore. You're suffering the natural consequences of your choices. She wiped her nose with the back of her hand, a gesture that would have horrified the old Monica who was obsessed with appearances. "I heard Silas is back with his wife," she said quietly. "Good for him. He told people that I seduced him, that I was the aggressor. He's painting himself as the victim." Shocking. I lost everything, Julian. My job, my family, my friends, my reputation, everything. You lost everything the moment you decided our marriage wasn't worth respecting. She looked at me with a mixture of hatred and despair. "I hope you're happy," she said. "Actually, I am. For the first time in months, I'm sleeping well. I'm not wondering where you are or who you're with. I'm not analyzing your lies or making excuses for your behavior. I'm free." Free to what? Be alone for the rest of your life? Free to find someone who actually deserves my trust. Monica walked away without another word, her heels clicking against the concrete as she headed toward her car. I watched her go, feeling nothing but relief. 3 days later, I heard through the gossip network that Monica had moved back to New Hampshire, staying with a cousin while she looked for work. Her parents still weren't speaking to her, but her sister Sarah had started taking her calls. Silas had indeed reconciled with his wife, who had apparently decided that a cheating husband was better than no husband at all. They were attending marriage counseling and posting happy couple photos on social media. As for me, I filed for divorce the following Monday. Monica didn't contest it. She signed every paper my lawyer put in front of her, gave up any claim to my assets, and agreed to a no-contact order. The divorce was finalized 6 weeks later. 6 months after catching Monica's affair, I was sitting in the same coffee shop where I'd first watched her betray me, but this time I wasn't alone. Sarah Chen, a fellow cybersecurity analyst I'd met at a professional conference, was sitting across from me, laughing at something I'd said about password security. "You're such a nerd," she said, but her tone was affectionate rather than mocking. Says the woman who just spent 20 minutes explaining the elegance of blockchain encryption. That's different. Blockchain is actually interesting. Sarah was everything Monica wasn't. Genuine, intelligent, and completely uninterested in playing games. She knew about my divorce, knew about the cheating, and hadn't judged me for the way I'd handled it. "Your ex-wife sounds like a piece of work," she'd said when I first told her the story. "That's one way to put it." "I mean, who cheats in their own house? That's just adding insult to injury." I'd laughed at that, surprised to find that I could laugh about it now. My phone buzzed with a text from Robert Thorne. "Sunday dinner this week? Patricia is making your favorite pot roast." Monica's parents had kept their word about still considering me family. I joined them for dinner twice a month, and we never talked about Monica unless they brought her up first. According to Robert, she was working as a receptionist at a dental office in New Hampshire and living in a studio apartment above a pizza shop. "She asks about you sometimes," Patricia had told me last month. "What do you tell her?" "That you're doing well and that she made her choice." I texted Robert back. "I'll be there. Should I bring anything?" "Just yourself. And maybe that nice girl you've been seeing, if she's available." I looked across the table at Sarah, who was reading something on her tablet and occasionally snorting with laughter. "Want to meet my former in-laws this Sunday?" I asked. "The ones who disowned their daughter for cheating on you? Those would be the ones." "Absolutely. I like them already." As we walked back to our cars, I reflected on how different my life had become. I was happier, more confident, and completely free of the anxiety that had plagued me during the final months of my marriage. I'd learned that I was capable of being ruthless when necessary, but also that I preferred to be kind when possible. Monica had taught me that trust, once broken, could never be fully repaired. But Sarah was teaching me that trust could be rebuilt with the right person. My phone rang as I was getting into my car. Unknown number. "Julian?" The voice was shaky, uncertain. "Monica. I wanted to call and apologize. Really apologize, not just try to make excuses." I sat in my car, engine off, considering whether to hang up. I'm listening. I know I hurt you. I know I destroyed our marriage and embarrassed both of us. I know I have no right to ask for forgiveness. But I wanted you to know that I understand now how badly I screwed up. Okay. I've been going to therapy, trying to figure out why I did what I did. The therapist says I was selfish and impulsive, that I was looking for external validation instead of working on our relationship. That sounds about right. I know it's too late for us. I know you've moved on, and I'm glad. You deserve someone better than me. I found someone better than you. A long pause. Good. That's good. I hope she makes you happy. She does. Julian? Yeah? I'm sorry. For all of it. You didn't deserve what I did to you. No, I didn't. I hope someday you can forgive me. Not for my sake, but for yours. I thought about that. Did I forgive Monica? Could I forgive her? I don't hate you anymore, I said finally. I don't think about you much at all, actually. I guess that's a kind of forgiveness. It's more than I deserve. Probably. Take care of yourself, Julian. You too, Monica. I hung up and sat in the parking lot for a few minutes, processing the conversation. I felt nothing. No anger, no sadness, no regret. Monica had become a stranger to me, someone from my past who had no power to hurt me anymore. My phone buzzed with a text from Sarah. Thanks for coffee. Can't wait to meet the in-laws on Sunday. Should I wear my I Hate Cheaters t-shirt? I laughed out loud and texted back, save that for the second visit. Starting my car, I pulled out of the parking lot and headed home to the house I no longer shared with a liar. The house where I could leave my laptop open without worrying about what I might find. The house where my security cameras were just security cameras again, not tools for catching infidelity. The house where I was finally free to be happy.